This is the most common starting point question in travel rewards: Amex Gold or Sapphire Preferred. And most people get it wrong because they're comparing the wrong things. And that mistake can cost you more than the annual fee difference between these two cards. They look at the earning rates, see the gold wins, and assume the answer is obvious. It is not. There is a version of this decision where the gold activity costs you more than the preferred, after credits, after earning, after everything. And there is a version where the preferred is the smarter first card, even though it earns less per dollar. I'll show you both and exactly which one you should actually start with. $230 gap in annual fees. That number looks decisive. It is not, and here's why. The Amex Gold comes with approximately $424 in annual credits, $10 a month in Uber Cash, $10 a month in dining credits at specific partners, $7 a month at Dunkin' Donuts, and $50 semi-annually in Reese credits. If you use those credits naturally, not because the card has them, because you were already spending on those things, the Gold's effective annual fee drops close to zero. A card that costs $325 and returns $424 in credits you actually use is not a $325 card. It's a card that pays you. But here's what the math requires. You have to actually use those credits every month at specific merchants without missing a single window. The preferred has a $50 annual hotel credit through Chase Travel and a 10% anniversary points bonus. Simple. Its effective fee drops to $45 automatically without tracking anything monthly. The Sapphire Preferred is built for one type of person, someone who wants strong travel rewards at the lowest possible cost to entry. 3 times on dining worldwide, 3 times on all travel, 3 times on streaming and online grocery purchases, 5 times on Chase Travel bookings, 1 time everything else. That 3 times on travel is broader than most people realize. Flights, hotels booked directly, ride shares, parking, train tickets, toll charges. If it registers as travel, when you swipe it, it earns 3 times. Someone who takes 2 or 3 trips a year, eats out regularly, uses DoorDash or streaming services, they are running most of their discretionary spending through the preferred's bonus categories without changing a single habit. That is the card working for them. The preferred also gives you primary rental car insurance, meaning it pays first before your personal auto policy. The Gold does not offer primary rental coverage. On a week-long rental, that alone can be worth $60 to $80 you are not spending on a separate CDW. The preferred is not the consolation prize for people who cannot justify the Gold. It is the right starting card for the majority of people entering the rewards ecosystem. The Amex Gold operates on a completely different value model, and this is where most people underestimate it. 4 times at restaurants worldwide, including takeout and delivery. 4 times at US supermarkets up to $25,000 per year, 3 times on flights booked directly. Those 2 4-time categories are where the Gold separates itself from almost everything in the market at this fee level. If you spend $500 a month on groceries and dining, which is not unusual for a family, the Gold is generating 2,000 points per month on those 2 categories alone. The preferred generates 1,500 at 3 times on dining and 1 time on in-store groceries. That is a 500-point monthly gap that compounds across a full year. But here's where most people stop the analysis too early, and this is exactly where most people pick the wrong card. The Amex Gold's superior earning rates are real. The credits that nearly offset the fee are real. But those credits require monthly discipline that most people overestimate their ability to maintain. $10 a month in Uber Cash, $10 a month in dining credits, but only at Grubhub, The Cheesecake Factory, Goldbelly, Wine.com, and Five Guys, $7 a month at Dunkin'. Each credit resets at the end of the month. Miss it and it's gone. Someone opens the Gold excited about the credits. They use Uber regularly. The Uber Cash works, but the dining credit sits unused most months because they don't order from Grubhub. They stop going to Dunkin' after the first few months. By December, they've captured maybe 60% of the credits. Their effective fee went from nearly zero to over $100 on a card that was supposed to pay for itself. And the moment you miss even a month of credits, the entire fee math shifts. The Preferred's $45 effective fee never changes. It does not depend on your discipline. But there is one spending profile where the Gold is so clearly the right answer that the Preferred cannot complete. And it is simpler than most people think. At this point, most people start leaning toward the Preferred. Lower fee, simpler credits, easier to manage. For a specific type of spender, that conclusion leaves real money on the table every single year. Here is where the Gold is not just better, it is not a close comparison. If groceries and restaurants make up the majority of your monthly spending, and for most households they do, the Gold's 4 times earning in both categories is one of the highest return structures available on any mid-tier card in the market. A family spending $1,000 a month on groceries and dining generates 48,000 membership reward points a year on those 2 categories alone. Now, that same family on the Preferred generates 18,000 points at one time on in-store groceries and 3 times on dining. That 30,000 point gap, valued at even 1 cent per point, is $300 a year in rewards the Gold generates that the Preferred does not. $300 in additional annual rewards on a card that costs $230 more per year before the credits. If you're also capturing most of the credits, the Gold is not just winning. It's one of the few cards at this level that can actually out-earn its own annual fee. The Preferred cannot generate those earning rates. Its category structure was not built for grocery and dining heavy spenders. The Gold Amex was. One more factor that most first-time card holders ignore, and it determines which ecosystem you want to be building in. The Gold earns Amex membership rewards. The Preferred earns Chase Unlimited rewards. Both are transferable to airline and hotel partners, and both can extract significant value through the right redemptions. Chase's transfer partners include World of Hyatt, widely considered the most valuable hotel program available to point holders. 1 Hyatt point can be worth 2 to 3 cents in the right redemption. If you stay at Hyatt properties, building Chase Unlimited rewards to the Preferred and adding to that balance specifically to transfer to Hyatt is a strategy that has produced outsized value for years. Amex membership rewards transferred to more partners overall. Chase transfers to better ones, specifically Hyatt. If you already know which airline or hotel program you are loyal to, pick the card that transfers there. If you have no preferences yet, the Preferred's Hyatt access gives you the highest upside per point in the most accessible redemption tier. Welcome bonuses matter, especially for a first card where the bonus can fund a meaningful trip in 1 year. The Preferred is currently offering up to 75,000 points after $5,000 in 3 months. The Gold is offering up to 100,000 points after $6,000 in 6 months. But here's what changes the math. Amex enforces a lifetime rule. You can only earn the Gold's welcome bonus once, ever. Chase's rule is 48 months. After 4 years, you can earn the Preferred's bonus again. If you plan to build a long-term point strategy across multiple cards, the card with the renewable bonus has structural long-term value. The Gold's once ever rule does not. Here's who gets each card. Get the Preferred if this is your first serious rewards card and you want to start building Chase Unlimited rewards for eventual Hyatt transfers. If you want a low effective fee that does not depend on monthly credit discipline. If your spending is spread broadly across travel categories rather than concentrated in groceries and restaurants. If you value primary rental car insurance and trip cancellation coverage as day one protections, then the preferred might just be for you. Get the gold if groceries and restaurants genuinely dominate your monthly spending, not occasionally, but consistently. If you will actually use Uber or Uber Eats monthly and eat at the dining credit partners regularly. If you're building in the Amex ecosystem and want the highest earning rates on food spending available at this fee level, if you already done the math on the credits and they genuinely fit your existing habits, not habits you plan to develop, but habits you already are doing. And who should not get the gold right now? Anyone who does not spend consistently at dining credit partners, anyone who will miss months of credits, anyone who values simplicity over optimization. For those people, the preferred's $45 effective fee and reliable earning rates will generate more actual value, even though the gold's numbers look better on paper. Now, the mistake is choosing the card with the higher earning rate without accounting for the credits that make that fee workable. The gold earns more. That statement is true in specific categories under specific conditions. The preferred earns consistently across a broader range of spending with fewer conditions to meet and a fee structure that does not require monthly discipline to justify. Earning more points on a card you are not maximizing is not a win. It is just a higher annual fee. The right starting card is not the one with the most impressive numbers. It is the ones that fit how you actually spend, and whose fee structure you will actually justify every year without a spreadsheet. Most people do not need the gold to start. They need a card that earns well, costs almost nothing to hold, and builds a point currency they can actually use. For most people, that is the preferred. Now, before you apply for either, this takes only 2 minutes and tells you the right answer. Add up your last 3 months of grocery and restaurant spending monthly total. If that number is consistently above $500, the gold's 4 times earning in both categories starts generating more reward value than the fee difference costs you. If it's below that, the preferred's 3 times on dining and near zero effective fee likely wins. Second, check the welcome bonus on both cards right now before applying. Amex runs targeted offers significantly higher than the public offer. Apply through the Amex pre-approval tool to see your personalized offer before committing. The Gold's once ever bonus rule means the offer you apply under is the only one you will ever get on this card. And if you're thinking about getting both eventually, start with the preferred. Chase's 5/24 rule means that if you open too many cards too quickly, Chase will deny you. Build your Chase relationship first while that window is open. The gold can come later. Amex is generally more flexible on approvals. Next video breaks down exactly how to use Chase Unlimited Rewards and Amex Membership Rewards transfer partners to get the most value per point, including the Hyatt redemptions that make the preferred worth far more than its $95 fee suggests. Watch that before you decide where your points are going. And drop a comment. Gold or preferred? And which one are you starting with or already holding? I want to see where people in this audience actually are. Anyways, guys, that will do it for me. I'll see you in the next one.